I have gotten approached several times in the last few weeks saying like, hey Jessica, what kind of camera would you recommend for these circumstances? Hey Jessica, I want to do this. What kind of camera should I buy? I want to do this. What kind of camera should I buy? And of course, there's questions that I follow up with, like what's your budget? What are you looking for? Blah, blah. But I thought I would create a video that acts as kind of a camera buying guide. I do actually have a quiz too that I created with Canva AI. Obsessed, not sponsored, but obsessed, that I will link in the description below if you want to get started there. But this video is going to kind of serve as a, you need a camera for this purpose. This is probably your best camera based on your budget. Now, I have put off filming this video because this is not an easy task to undertake. It is not easy for me to be like, here's the plethora of cameras in the world, and here's the ones that you need. Because there's millions of cameras, probably, and lots of use cases, but we're gonna kind of boil it down and get you the best possible like direction you need to go. Hi, howdy, hey, by the way, if you are new here, I'm Jessica. What's up? Nice to meet you. Super pumped that you're here. My office looks very pink today. It's a little dreary and like dark outside. I think my light is brighter, I don't know, but we got the pink going on. We're gonna roll with it. Okay, so before I get into the actual like, here's your use case, here's the camera you need, here, you know, whatever. Let's talk cameras in general, because there's some things that you need to know as we go into this that are gonna make it make more sense. So if this is your first time like buying a camera, or you are, you know, you've had like little cameras here and there, but you're really wanting to get into the camera world, few things to note. One, I'm a Sony girl. I just am. I will be recommending some cameras that are not Sony, but overall, the majority of what I'm gonna recommend is gonna be Sony, because that is what I use, that is what I know, that's what I've had my hands on, that's what I know the quality of, all the things. This is 1000% not sponsored by Sony, but I do love them, so they're gonna be the majority of what I talk about. Second thing second, when it comes to cameras, there are photo first cameras and video first cameras. And then there are cameras that do a pretty damn good job right there in the middle. Most cameras are going to fall into the photo first, but really good at video, or video first, but pretty good at photo kind of category though, okay? So when I talk about cameras, we're going to talk about them from a photo first versus video first versus budget kind of direction. There's also full frame versus APS-C. So full frame cameras have a full frame sensor, which basically means they do better in low light. You're gonna use different lenses. You're gonna have like a little bit of a different kind of experience with that, and they're gonna be more expensive. APS-C cameras are a cropped sensor, which means that lenses are going to be a little bit more cropped in when you use them on those cameras. They're gonna do a little less good in low light, but they're still great, and they are generally cheaper. Also, do you see my Life of a Showgirl Taylor Swift album? Yeah, or I don't even have a record player. Guys, I don't know what to say. I'm a new Swiftie. I'm a Swiftie because she's with Travis. I was a Travisy before I was a Swiftie because I'm a football girl. Here we are. Okay, so first things first, you have to decide whether you need a photo first or a video first camera. I have two different fairly expensive cameras. I used to have three. I actually sold one of mine, but I want another one. Not the point. When you're addicted to cameras, it's just, you've got lots of cameras. But I actually have a photo first camera that's really good at video and a video first camera that's pretty good at photos. I have each of these, okay? So you have to decide which one you want to prioritize. Are you someone who's going to want to take photos more than you're taking videos, but you want to do videos? Okay, cool. We'll go down the photo first route, because everything I'm going to mention in the photo first vicinity is also going to do good video too. Or are you someone who wants to be video first, like you're a creator and you're mostly going to be filming videos? You want to go down that route, but those cameras also do pretty damn good at photos too. And if you're wondering why this is the way it is, basically it's kind of a mixture of megapixels. So, you know, photo first cameras are generally going to have higher megapixels versus video first cameras are generally not going to have as high megapixels, but they are going to have higher end video settings and qualities built in. So it's kind of like the camera manufacturer has to pick, do we put more megapixels or do we put more video features in this camera? And that's what makes it photo or video first. Now, I will talk about the A7 IV, but it's a really great hybrid camera. It is photo first, but it does hella good video. Like hella good. I used to have an A7S III, which was really, really great in low light because it had very, very few megapixels, but it still took really amazing photos, even out of like a 12 megapixel camera. Oh, it got bright in here. And the pink dimmed down a little bit. Okay, and then I'm filming on a ZV-E1, Sony ZV-E1, which is a video first, creator first camera, but also it also takes really good photos. Let's talk through the photo first path first. So if you're someone who wants to take photos first, like you want to prioritize photos, you need decent video quality, but you want to prioritize photos, this is the recommendations for that based on your budget. First things first, and the cheapest on the list is your iPhone or your smartphone. Now, I know logistically that an iPhone is probably not the cheapest photo camera that you can get, but because we are all carrying them and you're gonna buy it anyway, I'm going to put it on the cheapest number. Like I'm gonna put it as number one, most budget friendly, best camera you can get for that price range, iPhone or smartphone. Then if we get into kind of a mid-range camera arena, I would recommend the Sony 6400. Now you can go to the 6600 or whatever, the price just goes up, but honestly the 6400 has all of the features that you need. It is photo first, but it does great video too. It has a 4K sensor, like all the things, okay? But when you step into this kind of camera, you are gonna have like interchangeable lenses, things like that. And while the camera body itself is not in the $1,500 range, by the time you add a lens, it would be. And by the way, I know plenty of creators who use a 6400 or a 6600, which is kind of the same line as their video camera. I recommend it as photo first in the $1,500 range. Next, we're gonna go into the like $2,000, $2,500 range, okay? And this is mostly for the body. And I'm gonna give you two options here for photo first. One is going to be the Sony A7C, and you could either go the first version, or there is a 2 now, but obviously the 2 is going to be more expensive. The first version is probably going to hit most of your needs, especially if this is your first camera. So the Sony A7C is a great camera for photo first in this price range, and it's actually pretty compact too. Or I would recommend a Fuji X100VI. Now, let me tell you the difference, okay? So the A7C is going to get you all of the like professional features that you need in a camera at a pretty decent price. So you're gonna be able to use interchangeable lenses. You're gonna be able to like do whatever you need to do on that camera. It still has pretty good video, like all of the things. But the Fujifilm, if you have seen the videos on TikTok where people are like, here's my Fuji recipe for these, like to make these look good. They are a very, very photo first camera, and they are very, very hobbyist and, you know, throw in your bag kind of camera, but are a little bit expensive for most people to just throw in their bags. These are the cameras that you've seen that have like the film simulations built in, and as soon as you take the picture, it already looks like that. You don't have to edit anything. The X100VI does not have interchangeable lenses, so it is just a point and shoot camera on the higher end, high megapixels, really cool look, photo first. But you see here how one person would want the more professional thing, the more I want to change my lenses, all of that, and one person would want the point and shoot. So that's what I'm giving you both. And then as we move up the price range, I'd say in the $3,000 price range, you're gonna get the A7 IV. So the A7 IV body only is not quite $3,000, I don't think. But by the time you put a lens on it, it's gonna be $3,000. This puppy is a workhorse for photos, especially does great on video. I will say that when you start to use it for video, that's like 60 frames per second. You're going to use it for slow-mo, whatever. It does start to overheat. So it is not like the best, you know, video camera in the world in that range, but overall, Absolutely, I could film a million YouTube videos on this and I would never have a problem. I actually have, I do, but it is a photo first camera and would be what I would recommend in that like $3,000 range. And then if you want the Mac Daddy of photo cameras, you want to go above the A7 IV, you want like every feature known to man, you still want good video, all the things, you have the A1. That is kind of Sony's top of the line photo camera. But you're gonna get a top of the line price with that too. Now let's do a little switch over to video first. Same thing with video. If you are looking for the most budget friendly option, stick in your pocket option, thing that you're not gonna have to spend a lot of money on, your iPhone, your smartphone, absolutely top of the list. We have such great phones now. Like they take such good video and pictures that like, why would we not use them? And if you're someone who is just getting started, you wanna learn video, you wanna learn photos, you wanna learn all of these things, then that is a great option. Now, sticking in that like lower price range situation, if you are going video first and you need something that's really easy, really quick, really small, really convenient, I would highly recommend the DJI Osmo Pocket 3. So this puppy is the one that you've seen me talk about a lot. You just turn the screen and then it literally like has the horizontal, you turn it this way and it does vertical. Like it is such a great camera. Oh, I turned it off. It's such a great camera and it's literally that small. Like comparing it to my A7 IV, it's like a huge difference. So this is great for video creators. It does great video. We can't complain. And it is a bit high right now because of the tariffs. So we're looking at the like $1,000 range, maybe a little bit more, but normally it's in that like $700 to $800 range. Moving on up in video first, we've got the Sony ZV-E10. Now I did a whole video comparing the E10 and the E1, which I'm going to talk about next. So I will make sure I link that above and below in the description. I did it while I was at Sony Condo. But the Sony ZV-E10 is going to get you in that like $1,000 price range even after you buy a lens, somewhere between like $1,000 and $1,200. So it's gonna be in that like lower price range. If you want to step up from something like this or your phone into something a bit more dedicated and a bit more of a camera that you can use interchangeable lenses with, it is a great, great option. It is a cropped sensor, so that is really the only difference between it and the next one we'll talk about, but that also makes it cheaper. The next option is the one I'm filming on right now, which is the Sony ZV-E1. So it is the full frame version of the one I just talked about. So it's gonna get you a bit more expensive. It's in the $2,700 range for the body itself, and then you have to buy lenses and whatever else. And so it's a bit more expensive, but it is going to be a great creator. It is a great creator camera. I love it. It is definitely video first. It has all of the features. They both have all of the features where it's like background blur, face detection, like all of the things that you're gonna need with video. And it is a great camera, but if you wanna step up into that full frame range and you are okay with a little bit higher of a budget, it's the one I would recommend. And then continuing on that path, if you're looking into the like $3,000 plus range and you want like a really, really great video camera without getting into the cinema line, like without getting into I am buying a camera because I'm a videographer line, the Sony a7S III, chef's kiss, 100% would recommend. Love, love, love. I actually sold my a7S III a few months ago, and I sold it because the ZV-E1 that I'm filming on now has the same sensor and really does the same work as the a7S III, and the a7 IV also pretty much hits all the boxes. What I will say that I miss about the a7S III that I don't have in these two cameras is that it didn't overheat at all, like ever. I like to take my cameras when I can to like my kids' sports stuff and film some clips of them so that I have that. And I took the a7 IV after I sold my a7S III and was filming on 60 frames per second trying to get some slow, well, not necessarily slow-mo, but with sports you need that higher frame rate. and it overheated multiple times on me doing that. And I really missed my A7S III in that moment, but I don't do enough of that work to like really matter. But the A7S III is kind of the Mac Daddy from Sony in the Alpha line as far as video goes before you get into the cinema line and you get into like the really expensive cameras. And then that leads me to my last suggestion. If you're going video first, if you do want something that's like the literal Mac Daddy of video, but it's still in this kind of body form, and it's not, you don't get into like the ones that look different, and you really want video first, really video only, like all the things, I would go with the FX3. That is actually the camera that's next on my list. So the FX3 is gonna be your Mac Daddy of video, like has all the features, has all the things that most people would ever want. Now, there are literally a million cameras in between all of these options. Like Sony has the RX100 Mark III. I may be saying that wrong. It is a point and shoot fixed 35mm lens camera that produces gorgeous photos for $5,000. And like, that's amazing, but it's for a very specific person. Or there's A7Cs and A7Rs and ZV line cameras and all of the things, okay? But this is kind of where I would get you started based on photo or video first and budget. Like I say, I actually created a quiz to help you figure out what you need, and I'll put that in the description below. And until next time, I will see y'all later, because I just got a notification that my grocery delivery will be here in a few minutes. And y'all, when I tell you, as a girl who lives in a small rural town that did not know Walmart would deliver to my house until 2 weeks ago, I might as well have died and went to heaven. Just saying. Bye.